All right, we're going to get started. So today we're going to start off by talking about why we should set goals. As part of this program, we're going to be looking into the goals we want to set for our New Year's resolutions, or if you're not a resolutioner, that is all right. But typically, most people are going to have some goals, whether those fall into any category. Maybe I want to learn another language. Maybe I want to work on my physical fitness. Maybe I want to focus on my nutrition, or getting outside more. So whatever your goals are, they can be tied into this Stick to It resolution program. Over the course of the program, we are going to mostly be talking about physical activity, goal setting, nutrition, self-care, mindfulness, and then kind of recapping all the topics at the end of the program. But you can discard any information that isn't prevalent to your current goals, or you can save it and always utilize it a little bit later. So starting off, why we should set goals. A big part about setting goals is going to be it gives us direction and focus. So it's going to provide us some clarity and help us stay focused on our goals or anything we're striving for in our life. It's great for giving us motivation. It creates a purpose and it's a driving action, again, for trying to strive for something. It's also going to be helpful that it measures progress. So we can be able to track and see how far we've come. We can see where we started, went from point A to point B, and it's a great way to kind of feel fulfillment from completing something. Goals also hold you responsible and accountable for along the process and in other areas of our life. It helps us challenge ourselves and develop new skills and abilities. It gives us a sense of achievement or accomplishment, boosts our self-esteem as we complete those goals, and all in all, the long-term vision. It's going to help guide us towards decisions we want to make in the future. Starting off, the types of goals. So both of these are very important, but short-term and long-term goals are a little bit different, and I would like people to consider or think about these as you create your own goals for this program or for your life. Starting off with those short-term goals, they're going to be achieved in the near future. So whether those are days, weeks, or months, focus on immediate tasks or smaller milestones. And they're going to help us build momentum for those long-term goals. They're easier to measure and track the process of. Now, long-term goals are going to be what takes months or years to accomplish, whatever that might be. They're going to provide a bigger vision for our overall direction. And again, those short-term goals are going to help navigate the milestones as we get there. But the long-term goal is the big picture. It's going to help kind of get us in the mindset for the consistent effort that's going to be needed to happen and planning over time. So now that we kind of know those two goals, consider what your long-term and short-term goals are. And now the next few slides here, we're going to be talking about goal setting strategies. Starting off, building a SMART goal. So building out those SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, is going to really help ensure that we have our objectives clear, that they're realistic, trackable. So let's kind of break down each main component. For specific, that's going to be defining a goal clearly. So the goal should be straightforward. It should emphasize what we intend to happen. Very specific goals are ones that are focused on our efforts and clearly define the steps we will take. Now we have to make sure a goal is measurable. For both short and long term, it should be measurable. We should be able to place a percentage value on how far along we are within that goal based off of those specific steps. Tracking our progress is also going to help overcome any setbacks that we might have. So making sure it's measurable. It has to be attainable. Ensure that our whatever goal we're trying to set for ourselves is achievable, that it is possible. It can be very challenging, but it should still be attainable. And are those steps that we create ourselves realistic and relevant to our current commitments and our current life? And it has to be relevant. We have to make sure that ensure that our goal is going to align with any of our main values or long-term objectives that we want to complete. And then, of course, time-bound. So we have to make sure that the goal as the definition sounds, has an end date that we want to be able to reach so that we can hold ourselves accountable or that other people can hold us accountable as well. So make sure we write it down, the when, the where, the how, the what. But overall, SMART goals are a great way to structure, create a foundation for a goal, and increase the accountability, improve the likelihood that we are going to successfully reach the end of our goal by setting those clear, realistic, attainable steps towards our overall achievements. Now, we're going to go a little bit more in depth So most of these strategies are what was provided in the PDF, but we're going to dive into them a little bit deeper here. So a few other goal strategies, the WHOOP technique. This technique is a very powerful method for goal setting. And most of these are going to be able to kind of give us a starting point or kind of dive into what we then turn into those SMART goals we just talked about. So the WHOOP technique is a technique that's going to help structure or visualize the success and prepare ourselves for obstacles. So it's going to start off with a wish. So clearly define what your goal is or what your wish is. Make it specific and meaningful to you. Next is then the outcome. We're going to visualize the best outcome for achieving that goal. You want to focus on how it will feel and how it will benefit you. And what the benefit will bring into your life at the end of the goal. And this helps increase our motivation and clarity of our purpose for the goal. And then obstacle. You want to be able to identify the potential obstacles that might get in the way of reaching your goal. And this could be procrastination or self-doubt, more internal effects, or it could be external, such as work constraints, time constraints, family, lack of resources. So being able to, again, plan out can help increase our success. And then lastly, create that plan. So creating a plan to overcome these obstacles. We have to make sure that for each challenge that comes up, we have strategies to plan around any of the negative effects that might happen. And this productive planning is going to help prepare you for different difficulties and anything that can help as it kind of comes up to help you stay focused and tracked on a goal. Because even if we get sidetracked or kind of fall behind on our goal, that's not a failure. That's an opportunity for learning to see what came up in our lives that made us kind of veer away from our goal, and then how we can build using those obstacles that we planned for to get back on track. So that's the WHOOP technique. The 90-day technique is going to focus on 90-day goals that can significantly boost the process by breaking down the larger obstacles into more manageable, time-sensitive chunks. So with these, they're going to be, again, more short-term goals, 90-day goals. It's going to offer a clear time frame to accomplish our goal, and these are going to be more specific tasks, making them less overwhelming and more attainable. We're looking for more of the quick wins with these 90-day goals. So this approach helps us build experience with the quick win. It's going to build our momentum and confidence in our goals. And these smaller successes are going to help keep you motivated and give you a sense of accomplishment. As well with the 90-day goal, having a progress check. So within the 90-day goals or the 90-day focus, we want to make sure that we can assess our progress, but within the 90-day period, it's going to happen more frequently, and we are going to be able to make adjustments, again, if things fall behind. So we can adjust our strategy as needed, and we can keep all the efforts on track and aligned with our long-term vision. So that's one way we can segment up our long-term goals. Backwards planning is a strategy approach that starts with the end of your goal in mind, and you're going to work back towards the beginning, setting out the steps you need to achieve it. So you're going to start off by defining your ultimate goal. So you're going to clearly identify what your end goal is. This could be a career milestone, a personal achievement, or a project completion. And then from there, work it back. So we're going to break it down. Once you've defined your ultimate goal, we're going to identify the key milestones or steps needed to get there, and then work backwards to outline a sequence of actions that are going to be required from the last step to the first. And then finally, within the backwards planning, the timeline is going to be created. So this is going to be a method that helps you create a realistic timeline by setting deadlines for each of those action steps. And then by visualizing the path ahead from backwards, we're going to be able to avoid missing any crucial steps and ensure a clear goal that's logical in progressing forward towards our goal. And then last of this slide is going to be habit stacking, a very, very important and underused goal setting strategy. So with habit stacking, it's going to be an effective technique for creating new habits by building them onto our existing routines. So we want to leverage existing habits. We're going to identify a habit that we already do consistently, like brushing our teeth or having a cup of coffee in the morning, and we're going to build upon that. So if I want to do more stretching, if I want to add 5 minutes of stretching, it's like, all right, well, I already have my coffee in the morning. So maybe during the period I drink my coffee, I'm adding on to that habit and I'm adding 5 minutes of stretching at that same time. So this can be applied to any area of our life, and think of any of those main habits we already have and see how we can stack on something else. If we're trying to add in a new habit, again, we're going to attach a new or smaller habit to it, that existing routine. Yes, like meditating while we're brushing our teeth. We could just more visualizing while that's happening. And or if another goal is to be more mindful, as we could talk about more in the fourth week, but during that morning coffee, we could write down 3 things we're grateful for. And that's just a quick way we can kind of add a new habit on to a goal or a habit we already have developed. All right, some additional techniques is going to be the accountability partner. Having an accountability partner is a very, very powerful way to stay committed to your goals, as it creates kind of an external motivation and provides valuable support. Part of this is it helps increase our motivation. So when we share goals with someone, it's going to strengthen your commitment, their commitment, and knowing that you'll need to report to them on your progress. This accountability factor is going to encourage you to stay on track and avoid procrastination, because you don't want to let someone else down if you are working at the same goal, or it can be a point to check in with them, which we'll get into just a little bit. But also then it supports from them, we gain support, we gain extra guidance. So this accountability partner can provide extra guidance, advice, or encouragement along as challenges arise. And they can help us overall stay focused on that big picture, and offer a fresh perspective, because they're also going through the same thing, and you can help them out. And a big factor of this is going to have regular check-ins. So make sure we set up regular check-ins in advance to discuss your progress, your setbacks, things that are going well, or maybe anything you need to adjust to stay on course. And having this consistency is going to reinforce your focus and keep you aligned with your goal. Now, for accountability, this could be a friend, a family member, a coworker. It could be more of a wellness coach, someone like me, for example. Oftentimes helps just kind of be that extra accountability partner for someone. The Eisenhower matrix is going to be a tool for prioritizing tasks based on urgency and importance. And this is going to help ensure that we're focusing our energy on the most crucial activities. So this can be taken to any goal we want to set forth, but it also can be taken into other areas of our lives, such as our work-life balance, or as I like to say, there's really no such thing as work-life balance, because it's all our life. So how we can navigate important features in our life. So for this matrix, we're going to have tasks divided into 4 quadrants. There's going to be an urgency versus importance. So quadrant 1 is going to be urgent and important tasks that require immediate attention. So deadlines or emergencies. And then we're going to have quadrant 2, which is going to be important but not urgent. So these tasks are going to be important, but they do not require immediate action. So long-term goals, relationship building, more self-care items can fall into, they're very important, but not urgent. And then we have quadrant 3. It's going to be urgent, but not important. So tasks that demand immediate attention, but don't contribute significantly to our goals. So interruptions, distractions, kind of mundane tasks. And then we have not urgent and not important. These are going to be tasks that are neither urgent nor important. So more like time wasting activities. And we really want to be able to then, through this method, focus on what matters. So by using this matrix, we can focus on what's important, what's non-urgent tasks, and then from this help us move towards our long-term goals while avoiding distractions and minimizing the time spent on less meaning activities. Time blocking is going to be a productivity technique where you allow specific blocks of time to work on particular tasks or goals. And then this structured approach is going to help ensure a dedicated focus, and it reduces some distractions. So for that dedicated focus, by assigning a specific time slot to a specific task, you can dedicate very undistracted time and attention to the task at hand, which is going to prevent multitasking and it will improve our quality of work and the focus. And with that, it's also important to be able to have structured flexibility. So when when time blocking, you're creating that structure, and it should allow for flexibility within your schedule. So you can adjust the length of each block to make sure that it matches the complexity or the priority of each task. And then over time, The time block can help you develop a routine, which routines are very important, and then it's going to make it easier to maintain productivity and efficiency. And it's going to help you identify the areas where you might need to, or you might be overscheduled or under prioritizing important tasks. So it's more of a time blocking. And that can be as small as 5 to 15 minutes. And even part of time blocking and kind of our part of our goal development, short-term goals could be scheduling a 5-minute time to look at the next week and adjust our schedule or adjust those time blocks according to how our schedule is going to play out. Visualizing and affirmations. So these are great tools for staying mentally aligned with our goals, and it's going to help reinforce our commitment to maintaining a positive mindset. Visualization is where we're going to picture ourselves successfully achieving our goal or successfully working through our timeline by using vivid mental imagery to experience this emotional sensation of success. And it's going to help solidify our vision to provide some additional momentum and motivation to making those goals feel more attainable. And then for those positive affirmation statements, it's going to help increase our ability to, again, focus on what is possible and keep our motivation up. So something you can repeat like, I am capable of achieving my goals. They can be short and sweet, or every step I take brings me closer to success, or I can do it, I can do it. And then with these, try to refrain from any negative self-talk and just try to boost your confidence. So stay really positive with those affirmations, avoid more negative self-speak. And with these two variations, consistency is key. So to be more effective, it's going to be helpful that we incorporate visualizations or those affirmations into our daily routines. So the more regularly we engage in these practices, the more it's going to help reinforce the belief that in our ability to succeed. And that pairs exceptionally well with some of the other goal strategies, one of those habit stacking. So if we want to help increase our visualization or affirmations, think about that, those brushing teeth time or the coffee time. Can I speak some affirmations during that coffee time if that's kind of a sit down mindfulness time, or can I say those affirmations in my head while I brush my teeth, or visualize my success of my goal or the layout of my day while I do brush my teeth? Some of those already habits that we have. Then lastly here, vision boards can be helpful because it's a tangible representation of our goal and our dreams. So creating by collecting images, quotes, symbols that are going to reflect our aspirations. From here, we want to make sure that we clarify our goals by creating that vision board, making sure it's a direct representation of our outcome, and it makes it more concrete and specific. It's a very powerful way to clarify our goals and reinforce our commitment. From this, it's a consistent reminder. So we have to make sure that we place it in a place somewhere that's visible to us and that makes sense. And it's always a reminder of our goals, and it's going to help keep us focused on working towards them. Now, these vision boards don't have to be extremely big. They could be a small, even on your monitor or your laptop, to take just a small picture in the background that has a few quotes, a few symbols that's going to reflect on our aspirations. So it doesn't have to be super big, or it can be a full poster board if that's what you want it to be. And then also with that, it's going to help with the images or the words on it, also kind of tying back to the visualizations or affirmations. It's going to help inspire and motivate you, especially on those rough days. It's going to be, again, that visual representation of our goals and what we're striving for and how we can achieve them. All right, for goal progress, it is also crucial. So moving a little bit away from the strategies, more in a foundation of setting those goals, to set milestones and celebrate wins. These are huge areas in creating our goals and making that process, and then allowing ourselves to be represented for the progress that we are making. So on that setting milestones, make sure we break down those goals into manageable steps. You want to be able to divide those long-term, larger goals into small, achievable milestones to make them less overwhelming, just one step at a time. That's all goals are. That's all progression is. We want to make sure that we also track our progress. So milestones are going to serve as a checkpoint to assess our progress, and it's going to help us stay on track. And then regular milestones are going to provide us a sense of accomplishment, keeping motivation high throughout the journey. And with these milestones, be flexible, adjust them as needed. Milestones offer a great opportunity to evaluate and adjust our goals or strategies if necessary. And so we kind of have the breakdown of the goals created, but then celebrate those wins. It's going to help boost our confidence. So if we celebrate those small victories, it's going to reinforce our ability to achieve goals, and that's going to help build self-esteem. From this, we're also going to recognize the achievements we make, no matter how small they are. It's going to help you maintain energy and enthusiasm for that next step. It's a great force of positive reinforcement. So rewarding yourself can create a positive association with working towards your goal and making the process more enjoyable. And that's one of the main reasons of how we reach and get to burnout within our goals is it might not be realistic, our goals, or there might not be positive reinforcement along the way, whether that's from a peer or from ourself that we're instating into our goal. And then we're just doing kind of mundane tasks over and over again. If you find your own motivation, that is excellent. But sometimes we need a little bit of extra positive reinforcement along the way. And being able to acknowledge the process is going to help, again, encourage you to continue moving forward and to push through any challenges that arise. All right, so then staying committed to your goal. Overall, we want to be able to build a consistent routine. Consistency is going to drive progress. When we make an effort habitual, it's going to become second nature. Just like brushing our teeth or having that coffee in the morning, it's habitual, it's effortless. It reduces the mental strain needed to stay focused on our goal, and it allocates special time each day or week to work towards your goal. So in building that routine. So even just 5, 10, 15 minutes. This is regular. Doing this regularly is going to help maintain our momentum. So keep the goal consistent or keep those reminders consistent. The 2-minute rule. So starting as often the hardest part. And the 2-minute rule suggests that if we take a task and we break it down to 2 minutes or less to do it immediately. It's a simple strategy, but it can help us overcome procrastination or create a positive momentum, making it easier to tackle the larger tasks. Think about kind of a snowball effect. Do something challenging, but it's 2 minutes right now, and then maybe that can open the door a little bit later for some other areas of our goals. It's winter here in Minnesota. It's cold. So if one of our goals is to increase our movement or get outside, maybe that 2-minute task is going to be prepping my bag. Or if I want to get in the gym more here at the fitness center or wherever you might be working out, I prep that gym bag, I bring it to work. It just takes 2 minutes, but that is one task that you can immediately overcome, which can help lead to success later on. You want to be able to have accountability and peer support. It's going to help stay committed to the goal. So have someone that can hold you accountable, similar to one of the other goal strategies. That's another great way to stay committed to your goals. Can help you keep up on that momentum. It's another place for reinforcement for your commitment. You can share your goals with a trusted accountability partner. And again, schedule those regular check-ins to track your progress. Peer support can make a big difference on staying on track. It's not just you who's supporting yourself anymore, it's your entire support system. We have friends, families, and coworkers for a reason. Utilize them for any goals or those tough times you might be going through. We also are going to want to be able to track our progress, monitor our goals, and adjust them if need be. So regularly tracking our progress, again, think of those milestones, is going to be helpful at staying focused to see what's working, what needs to be adjusted if necessary, whether it's through journaling, apps, spreadsheets, or keeping a record of resources and achievements that help keep you motivated. And above all, I would say be flexible and be kind, be compassionate with yourself. Life is unpredictable. There's a lot of external factors that may be affecting your ability to stick with a strict plan, and it's going to be important to remain adaptable and be gentle with yourself when those obstacles arise. Adjust your timeline or approach when needed, and make sure that we use those setbacks as a valuable learning experience rather than a source of frustration. It's not a failure, it's just a point for learning. What came up in my life that caused us to slip on our goals a little bit, and how can I navigate forward next time when that happens? All right, so a little more on finding your motivation. A really big piece of setting goals is going to be finding that why. You want to understand the deeper reason behind your goals. It's one of the most powerful ways that we can stay motivated. The why provides emotional fuel that's going to help keep us on track and push through those challenges and the setbacks that we do come across. Because it's inevitable, we're going to have setbacks. So make sure that we're also reflecting on the deeper meaning. Take time to reflect on that why, that the goal matters to you. This is an approach to personal growth, and it helps for a variety of things, but creating that positive change in the world or within your life. Again, find the why. Why am I doing this? Why is it important to me? And when you connect with your goals on a deeper level, it's going to help, again, create that sense of purpose and helps keep you moving forward. And then also make sure you reflect and revisit your why regularly. So maybe this is something that goes on your visualization board or on your journaling or a part of your affirmation statements. But that motivation, it can fluctuate. It happens. So it's going to be important that we regularly reflect on that why and how and how we're working on that path, why we're working down our path. And then along with that why, make sure it is, again, going back to that SMART goal, it is relevant, it's attainable, it's connected to our sense and give us a greater piece of purpose within our goal, and that it's going to have a positive impact on our life later on once we complete that main goal. We also want to surround ourselves with inspiration. The people you surround yourself with have a great impact on us, and the content we consume has a significant impact on your motivation. So by seeking inspiration, it can help you stay uplifted, stay focused on your regular goals. So make sure we're surrounding yourself with positive people, individuals who are motivating and share our goals, or who offer encouragement, whether it's a friend, a mentor, a group. But again, be around those supportive people. It's going to help us stay accountable and energized. And within our support system that we already have established, that can be a simple conversation of, hey, I'm struggling on my goal. I need a little bit of extra support or accountability from you, and then explain to them how they can support you in your time of need or through your goals. And for additional content, the world is it's a very technology world. There's a lot of social media, a lot of content around us. So make sure that the content we are consuming aligns with our goals. Make sure that it is going to help increase our motivation or follow motivational speakers, listen to podcasts, read books on success, watch documentaries that inspire you, but make sure that content it supports our goals. If we are watching content that gets us upset or emotional, we might want to take a step back from that content, because focusing internal can really support our goals, and in turn we can give more back if we focus on ourselves and our goals first. Joining communities can also be a great way to support and surround yourself with inspiration. So particularly, there's a lot of online communities, again, with that online content. There's a lot of forums where people share similar aspirations or offer online support, and engaging in these like-minded individuals or activities can help you stay motivated or remind you that you're not alone on this journey. And it's also important to then focus on the process, not just the outcome. Often motivation is going to wane when we're only focusing on the distance, because it looks far. That's a lofty goal. It's going to take a while, especially those long-term goals. We're looking 2 years in the future. That can be overwhelming. It seems very daunting and out of reach. So try shifting your focus to the process that can make the journey more enjoyable and fulfilling, and try to embrace that journey. So appreciate the small steps, those small milestones that you're taking along the way to celebrate and create your progress. So focus on the progress that you make in every foothold, and that those footholds are going to bring you one step closer to your goal, even if that final result seems a bit further away, one step at a time. And then with focusing on the progress, celebrate that progress, not perfection. So it's going to be okay, and it's recommended to recognize and reward yourself for the effort you're putting in, regardless of whether the goal is fully achieved yet. So every step counts. And then also on this focus, similar to what I mentioned before, but break down the goals into smaller tasks. Make sure we are creating those small wins for ourselves, tracking our progress, and being able to visualize that success regularly through mental imagery, and being able to anchor our motivation in. And kind of above all, when it comes to that momentum, is going to be flexible and compassionate with yourself. I know I mentioned this before, but it's a very, very important step. So setbacks happen. Accept those setbacks. Understand that obstacles are just going to be part of the process. Instead of being discouraged by those setbacks, use them as opportunities to learn, to adjust, and to grow. And practicing that self-compassion is going to be very crucial in being able to get there. And you also can show if you have a partner who's also on the same goal as you or in the same process, you can show compassion to yourself. Maybe that's what they need for a friend who's struggling as well. All right, so lastly here, and then there's one more kind of follow-up slide talking about setting your goals. So I've sent out this PDF already. Again, if you want to use another different variation of a journal, a tracker, some sort of Excel spreadsheet for your goals, totally fine. But this baseline is where I like to have people approach their goals starting off. So create one or two goals. They can be short term or long term, or you can make as many or as few goals as what is as what your hopes are for your resolutions or for your own personal well-being. But establish that goal. Have it be a SMART goal. Make sure it's specific, measurable, it's attainable, time bound, it's relevant. And then with that, think about those potential barriers. What's going to come up? And this kind of layout here is it's a basic layout. So then from this, you can tie in those other strategies that we just talked about. But it's important to make sure that we do solidify barriers that can pop up, and then solutions to those barriers. Write down some action steps. Those are going to be more of those milestones or those check-in points. And then on the bottom is just a progress tracker if we do want to check with a friend, check in with me, or as a way we can just check in with yourself, note the date and any notes of things you might need to change in the future. Lastly, before any questions, main takeaways I want to leave you with for this is to break down. So have your big goal. Make sure that's long-term. What do you want to achieve? Break it down into smaller tasks. So make those goals manageable. Those large goals, again, they're going to feel overwhelming. So break them into smaller, achievable tasks to maintain your focus on momentum. Celebrate your small wins. Recognizing the process is going to help keep your motivation high, and it's going to reinforce our commitment. Visualize success. So picture that goal. Take time to visualize the end result of your goal, which can help increase our motivation, can help us stay focused. Image the benefit that's going to have on our lives, and reflect on how achieving that goal is going to have that positive impact, and what it's going to help bring into our life to help maintain your excitement, to help maintain your drive. The whole part of making a goal is to try to make it a routine so you can make it scheduled. Consistency is going to be key. Establish that routine and incorporate time to work on your goals. Consistency is going to help build momentum. Think about a snowball effect. As the snowball rolls down the hill, it's going to pick up more snow. It's going to get larger. It might hit a rock now and then and bust apart, but we can reform it and keep on rolling. So block out time for yourself, allocate specific blocks for those time-related tasks to help you stay on your goal and to stay focused. Accountability. Share your goals with people. Tell others what your goal is, whether that's a mentor, a friend, a accountability partner, a community. Their encouragement and checking in on you can help keep you motivated. And then from this, track your progress. So regularly assess your progress and make adjustments if needed to see how far you come to boost your drive. Another very important one I wanted to focus on again was focus on that why. Find the purpose for your goal. Reconnect with the underlying reasons why you set the goal in the first place. A strong why is that can be provided is a lot of motivation can be found there during the tough times. And again, with that, find the why. Keep the bigger picture in mind. So understand how achieving this goal is going to align with your values and your long-term life vision. Reward yourself. Celebrate those milestones. You want to make sure that your accountability or achievements, you are acknowledging your accountability by treating yourself after specific milestones, and you can create those guidelines by building in your milestones, but reward yourself. And then with that, you also should give yourself some sort of reward for completing certain tasks or achieving specific goals to reinforce that positive behavior. Last couple here, stay positive. Goals may adjust over time. They may fluctuate. We're going to have barriers. So it's try to maintain that growth mindset, to embrace the challenges as opportunities and to learn and grow rather than seeing those setbacks as failures. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and avoid that negative self-talk we mentioned. If progress is slower than expected, can avoid that negative self-talk. How can you reframe and jump back on track? And lastly, to stay inspired. Surround yourself with that motivation. Keep up with inspirational quotes, images, reminders keep your goal visible and within your space, and seek support if need be, whether that is from positive influences in your life or from a community, friends, mentors, to keep you motivated. Those are kind of my main takeaways, and that is the end of today's presentation. Thank you for joining. If there's any questions, feel free to come off mute or to put something in the chat. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar on goal setting, motivation, and sticking to our goals. Next week, we're going to be diving in a little bit more to physical activity. Again, the purpose of this program is to take as much information as you feel is applicable to your goals and save the rest for later, or to discard it. It is truly a program about making sure that your resolutions or goals are sustainable this year and that they stick, and that we can modify them as need be as we progress along the way. So again, thank you so much for joining, and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll stop the recording.